What's up? Welcome back, guys. Today we're talking about Kickstarter, and we are here with Khierstyn Ross, who is a Kickstarter professional expert. She's worked with these brands to launch, for example, this product, which did $81,000 in Canada, but also $472,000 on Indiegogo, which is pretty similar. She's also worked on this product with Founder Magazine, which is pretty big, isn't it?
Yeah, they are.
And then 200,000 Australian dollars. Is that what it is?
Yep.
Mm-hmm. And then this pillow play set toy, which did 175,000 Canadian dollars, 1,800 backers. This one as well on Indiegogo, which did 440,000, and plenty of other products. So as you can see here, she's pretty experienced. Mina is my partner in this new project, and we are looking to launch our product on Kickstarter as well. It's our first time ever. We have no experience with that. And we looked to talk to the best of the best so that we can learn. And then now hopefully you can learn as well from this video. So definitely. As you can see, she's done it multiple times. So it seems like it's a repeatable process. So we're gonna ask her about what the process is. We're gonna ask her about what are the keys to success and what are some lessons from her failures as well. Because I'm sure some parts along the way, it's been tough.
Oh, yes.
What's up, guys? So some quick context for this video. We're currently in the middle of a case study, of an Amazon FBA case study, where we're launching a product from start to finish and showing you everything on this channel. It's called the FBA Challenge. And we decided to try to run a Kickstarter campaign to raise money for that product. We've never done this before, so we have no idea how to do it. And that's why in this video, we interviewed a professional. The Kickstarter actually launched today. So currently, as you're watching this, the Kickstarter is live. And I'm so excited to share with you because we've worked so hard on it. Check out the video that we made.
Energized, focused, motivated, locked in. That's how I want to start my day. That's why we created Cognuro.
It's a 2-minute video, so I won't play the whole thing. If you want to check it out, I can link the Kickstarter below. If you want to back the project and support us, feel free to do that over there. And big thanks again to our sponsors who, without them, none of this would be even possible. Getida, Thrasio, Ping Pong Payments, and all the other sponsors. Thank you so much for helping make this project a possibility. Now enjoy this interview and watch how we learned how to do what we're currently doing. We can start by talking about why Kickstarter, like what are the benefits? I know why because we're going after it, but tell us more. Maybe we missed some points.
Yeah, so Kickstarter is a discovery platform, meaning like Amazon, they have a traffic base themselves, right? So it's a really great way for people around the globe to discover new products. When sellers go to use Kickstarter, the main reason they're drawn to it is because of the funding potential. So when you do a Kickstarter campaign, you build up an audience and you launch your product, and then it gets funded by people pre-ordering your product. So then you're able to take that cash and invest in inventory and deliver product for 5-6 months later or whatnot. You could do it in less time, but that's typically the model. So the main driver that people go to Kickstarter for is they think funding for inventory. They go there for market validation. The sales numbers on Kickstarter are public, so it's a really great channel for investors, wholesalers to see what are some of the new and upcoming products and get connections and get other things and other benefits that happen from a Kickstarter campaign. But the top 3 reasons that people go to it: funding, market validation, and the audience that Kickstarter helps you get. So it really does help put your brand on the map overnight. Because it is a discovery platform where millions of users every month can find your product.
Right.
I've heard people are on Kickstarter. Like, what's the audience there?
Yeah, great question. So the audience on Kickstarter are early adopters. They are people that are looking for things that they can't buy on Amazon. So think gadgets, think new board games, think people that want to support new startup businesses and ideas that they like and really resonate with. While Kickstarter, like you'll typically see what does really, really well, like $1 million campaigns will be board games, you'll see tech, you'll see design projects, but Kickstarter can be used for a whole slew of other things. So it's really consumers, early adopters that are looking for cool, innovative projects to support.
Okay. So one of our biggest struggles as Amazon sellers, and I'm sure everyone watching as well, is cash flow. We put a lot of money into our business and into a product, and then we don't see any of it for the next maybe
like 6 to 8 months, right?
16, yeah, at least
months. Yeah. So I feel like from what you said, this could be a good solution, or it could be something that helps us.
Yeah, it is. It reverses the model. Like I was talking about this in a training I did earlier about the old flawed model versus the new model. And you look at the typical seller online, or not even seller, but anyone with a product idea, they used to just take that great idea that they have, develop it, buy thousands of dollars worth of inventory, get it shipped to their house, and then say, awesome, I got a business, I'm going to start selling it. And then when that, or even not even shipped to their house, but shipped to Amazon and get the listing up and start selling, right? So at this point, you've invested what, 20K into inventory. It's now sitting in Amazon, and you now have to start building up that listing, and you don't sell that and make your money back in your bank for what, 6 to 8 months if you're good. So what Kickstarter does is reverses that process, where it helps de-risk the product launch process too, because before you invest money in a product that you don't even know is going to sell, you're able to take a product idea, design a prototype for it, and build an audience around it and validate it first. And you'll validate it by then, before you buy inventory, you do a Kickstarter launch, you pre-sell inventory. And then after your campaign, Kickstarter gives you the money, you go and buy inventory. But at that point, it's like cash up front, deliver product second.
Got it.
So it's like, so even if you don't do a Kickstarter campaign, doing a pre-sale campaign completely reverses the risk of you outputting a ton of capital on a product that is not proven yet.
Right. And the difference between a pre-sale campaign without Kickstarter and Kickstarter is getting that extra audience that Kickstarter brings.
It's the traffic you're getting. So as opposed to you being 100% responsible for your traffic on Shopify, Kickstarter brings you 30 to 40% traffic gain.
That's amazing. That's insane.
Yeah.
Okay, so how do we do this? What is the process like? And let's start with the timeline. So what should we expect?
Yeah, so it depends how much experience you have. If you're a seller online who knows how to do Facebook ads and know how to quickly build an audience, then I recommend that you do a pre-launch build up of say 2 months. But the average person needs 3 to 5 months to figure out their stuff. First question though is like, why do we even need to prepare for a Kickstarter campaign if they have all this audience already? So Kickstarter has an algorithm called the popularity algorithm that helps them decide which products to show to their audience and which ones to not show. And that algorithm is determined on how much momentum you have on the very first day that you launch and how much people are like enjoying your product. And a metric of that is purchasing your product. So the better you do as soon as you launch, the higher up in rankings you're going to go on Kickstarter. And that's when you tap into that traffic. So that is the key to starting strong and having a successful campaign. If you want to fail fast, what you do is you just put up your product on Kickstarter with no legwork, no momentum, and you just hope that Kickstarter's algorithm picks you up.
Yeah.
So in terms of like why you need to have a few months prep work ahead of time is because you need to make sure the algorithm picks you up on the first day by having momentum when you launch. So you need to have a pre-launch period where you are building up your audience, and it has to be a qualified audience of people that are excited about your product and they're going to buy your product.
Okay, I'm going to ask you about some tips on how to build the audience in a second. But from what I've seen and what I've heard, is it true that you need to set your goal low enough so that you actually reach it within the first few hours?
Yep. So the goal is tricky because a lot of people can kind of get screwed with the goal. So when you do a Kickstarter campaign, you have 2 goals. You have the public goal that you set on Kickstarter, which is what your campaign is based on. And then you have as a team what you actually want to raise. So for Neuro, for example, your real goal might be $100,000, but if you set your goal on Kickstarter to 100K, it's going to be difficult, if not impossible, to hit that within the first few hours. So you end up sabotaging your campaign and it fails. So you want to set your goal on Kickstarter low to a point where you're going to be able to hit that in a few hours. But in terms of what that number is, you need to look at what is the absolute bare minimum you can afford that if you only hit 10K, you're still able to deliver product, right?
Is it also based on like the audience size that you are expecting to have?
Yeah, exactly. So because like when you have to look backwards into how big your list needs to be to support day one sales, when you have a goal of 100K, you want to bring in about 30% of your sales goal, your $100,000 sales goal on the first day. And you need to build your list up to a point that will support $30,000 in sales to convert on that first day. Got it.
Okay, I want to ask you about the marketing strategy and how to get tips. And I also want to talk about the listing itself and like what it should look like and what to have there. So we'll share my screen in a second and then we'll go through your listings. But first, how do we start with the marketing? How do we build a list from scratch?
The email list and that kind of stuff.
This is our product in here. No one's heard of it yet.
I want to try it.
Yeah, exactly. A lot of people have heard of it from our circle, but how do we get an audience excited to what's one step that we can take right now?
So the first thing I like to look at is go back to basics. And you guys are super experienced sellers, so you have a really good grip on your audience and the problem. But for people that are just starting, you can't just start to build an email list. You need to take a new product, and the first thing you need to do is figure out who is the niche or audience you're going after and what exactly is the pain point that your product helps them solve in their life, right? And you need to get really clear on that, but understand that those are just assumptions. You don't actually know if the pain point you're solving is what your niche actually cares about. So you need to go in with a beginner's mind to say, this is what I think, who I think our audience is and why I think they'll buy the product, but we have to go out and test that. And you go out and test that with Facebook ads, or you might do just a soft launch where you're selling 20 units to friends and family to validate if someone's going to buy it, why they're buying it, and who is buying it, right? So the very first thing is you need to get clear on that and understand that you need to test. And when you test that, that's where you start to build your audience. But you also need, with your audience, when you're building your list through paid traffic or influencers or other things we'll talk about, you need to have a way to test how serious someone is about buying your product, so that early on you get a pre-commitment from people versus building this massive list. And I see this all the time where people build a list off of really shitty leads, off like lead ads, or they buy an email list and they're like, I have a list of 35,000 people, but their launch failed. And their launch failed because they did not build up a qualified email list of people who are specifically interested in their product. So that's really like the first thing to understand about list building.
So what's one thing that we can do to actually do that? What's one example of Facebook ad, for example?
Yeah, so what you could do with Facebook ads is set up a landing page that has information about your product. I would never touch lead ads. And what lead ads are is where when someone sees your ad on Facebook, you can just input your email address on Facebook itself, as opposed to getting someone to click a button that takes them off of Facebook to your landing page. So that in itself is going to get you you're paying about 5 times more for that lead. So you may be paying closer to $2.50 for that lead versus 50 to 70 cents. But by that one action alone, by taking someone off of Facebook, you're forcing them to read your landing page. And by the time they actually give you their email, they are interested in your product versus someone who's like, I don't know what this is, but this looks cool. Here's my email. And then they forget about you.
So
Okay.
wait, so the campaign objective you said is not leads. What is it? Just to be clear.
Well, it will be a conversion campaign, but you don't want to do something called lead ads.
Yes. Okay.
Lead ads
So
yeah.
this is different than the campaign objective.
Yes, that's right. That's
Okay.
right. Yep. So you'll do conversions on Facebook because you want people to convert to a subscriber.
Convert well, actually, yeah. They're technically converting into a sale, but it's a $1 sale.
Yeah. Well, that's different, but the objective will be converting to leads at that first step, right? But when you get into the building the ad itself, you have a choice between sending someone to an external link, a landing page, or just doing a lead capture form, which is just on Facebook.
Oh, so get them off Facebook.
You got it. Yeah.
Also, you can pixel them.
That's really step one. Exactly. So,
Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
So what are some other marketing tactics that you do before ever launching the product? I heard you mention influencers and stuff like that.
Yeah. So when I like to do 2 combinations of building a list, and I think it's best that you don't rely on one channel to do this, but Facebook and Instagram advertising is great. You might do a little bit of Google remarketing for people who have come to your page, but maybe haven't signed up yet. There's that. You want to do organic methods. So organic is going to be like your easy, low-hanging fruit. So that will be friends and family. It's going to be existing audiences that you have. if you have a brand in the nootropic space or a brand in the health space, that's going to be a really great like supplement to get into this. You also want to, if at all possible, get samples into influencers' hands, because influencers have a much wider audience and are able to not only build social proof for your product, but get you in front of a warm audience that is engaged and happy to buy your product if they like what they see.
Okay, so if those
With that.
influencers have the product way before the Kickstarter starts, where should we drive that traffic to so that we can have them ready for the Kickstarter?
Yeah, so there's a couple ways you could do it. And depending on how you're working with the influencer, right? So some influencers will, and there's no one right way to do this, but if someone has a product today and they post a product review today, they are going to drive that traffic to a landing page for signups, right? And then if you wanted to take this a bit further, if that post with the influencer got a lot of engagement, you can get them to repost with a link to your Kickstarter campaign once you're live again.
Perfect. Okay, that makes sense. So let's look into, go ahead.
I just have a quick question. So this is, you know, because I'm thinking about like how I'm gonna do this. So first of all, we're very lucky. We have Neuro. It's a powder. We can get the cans and we can make the stickers like right now. So
Awesome.
we're able to do that versus if, you know, we had a game, we'd have to like fully develop it first. Now, once we use the influencers, do you think that the audience that are looking for products like this, new innovative products, they're incentivized by more like discount, like you're going to be the first one to, and instead of 30, it's 20, or do they want exclusive things like we'll give you like a motivation mug or something, like the first, you know, 300 people that sign up will get like a motivation mug, something like that?
I think you should test it. I was just recording a module on this topic yesterday because like it's so easy to discount your product, but when you're, I mean, what's the sale price of Neuro? Like $30, $30. Okay.
30, it's a 30-day servings, $1 per serving, I think is what we're going.
Okay. So like if you're doing a 20-30% discount, like that's like what, $5 to $10 in savings. It's not that much. And you may not have the margins or want to give such a big discount. So I would test two options where you give people the option of either a discount or you do value add in terms of exclusive gifts they get for pre-ordering on your Kickstarter campaign. I think that people love free stuff and it actually goes above and beyond to do that versus a discount, which is super easy.
Yeah, I don't know if you know Brandon Young, Khierstyn. He's a leader in the Amazon space as well. He is helping someone with his Kickstarter and he offered his students, his Amazon students, his free courses if they back it. So that's a pretty cool added.
There you go.
Yeah.
Because it's
They're
like, it doesn't cost you that much
I mean,
to
it's
do it.
the digital product, $300 value, you know, but he's like, if you back my friend's board game, I'll get you one for free. And that's pretty smart.
Yeah. Let's talk about the Kickstarter listing. And guys, if you have any questions for Khierstyn, let us know in the comments and I'll be more than happy to bring her back and answer very specific questions. And if you're enjoying this, hit the thumbs up and subscribe to the channel and click the notification bell to get notified when I post more videos. But Khierstyn, what does a winning campaign look like?
So if you go to that link, the Jamstack 2, which is the Gen 2 we just released a few months ago.
Okay. And this is Indiegogo.
This is Indiegogo.
Is there a difference?
Yeah. So Kickstarter is the Kleenex brand of the industry. So it does have 3 to 4 times the traffic and 3 to 4 times the campaigns. Its reputation is to be more legitimate for campaigns that are on it because they have an approval process you have to get through before you go on their platform. Whereas Indiegogo is like the underdog. You don't have to get approval before going on the platform. So you end up seeing a lot more like trashy projects, I guess, on Indiegogo. But the difference in demographic is Indiegogo is pushing hard toward the tech space right now. So if you have a tech product, it's a huge benefit to actually go on a smaller platform that still has a ton of traffic because A, you get a lot more support from their team, but also you have less competition with other products. So it helps you actually rank.
And you get all your money, right?
Well, both platforms take 5%.
No. But with Kickstarter, you don't get the goal, you lose it. Here, you don't get the goal, you still get it, right?
Yeah. So Indiegogo has 2 kinds of funding. You can do flexible funding, which means you keep it even if you fail. But they also have fixed funding, which is the same model as Kickstarter.
Okay.
Why would someone pick the fixed over the flexible?
Fixed means that even if they raise half their goal, they can still deliver product. And as like a trust thing, I don't know how important this is, but backers see a lot more trust in an all or nothing funding model because if it doesn't get funded, the backer doesn't get charged.
Ah, I see. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
but the components of the listing, they're pretty much the same, right? There's a photo, there's a video.
so we have a video, right? If we go down on the like just go down a little bit to the introducing Jamstack 2. So at the very top of the page, you need to design the page as if someone's not watching the video. So these need to be telling a visual story. You don't want text heavy pages. So the very top header, you want to showcase exactly what the product is and what is the main benefit.
Got it. And
Right.
it seems like from the first second in the video, you show exactly what the product is and what the benefit is, right?
Yep. You have like 5 to 7 seconds to grab somebody's attention on this page, or they're going to leave. So you need to keep that in mind with the video as well.
And how long is a good video?
It doesn't matter about length. The average video is 2 to 3 minutes, but it's more about captivating content.
Got it.
Like Purple Pillow, for example, raised 2.6 million and their video was 4.5 minutes long.
Okay, that's like a movie.
So yeah, almost, yeah, in Kickstarter time.
What are the components of the video itself?
So in terms of how you break down the script,
Yeah, pretty much.
yeah, so the first 10 to 15 seconds is the hook. So the hook is what your product should be, what your product is, and why someone needs it. Okay. If you don't want to showcase the product front and center, then you need to bring in the product within the first 30 seconds. But it goes hook, big problem, solution.
Uh-huh.
And then it goes into benefit 1, feature 1, benefit 2, feature 2. Because we have like the ultimate guide on how to develop your script.
Okay,
That. So there's like,
if you send it to me, I can also
So
put it in the description below. So if you guys want to check it out there, it'll probably be there.
perfect. Yep. And I have another great video from Daryl Eves where I walk through like the 8 stages of like power pitch formula that you would use with a Kickstarter. So I'll also give that to you so we can link it in the description.
Link below. All right. So
Yes.
you talked about this part.
Yep. So you have the product, you have social proof.
Okay.
How early on should we show the social proof? And what are the different forms of social proof that you've seen work best?
Yeah. So we had the luxury of press. Not everyone has that. Social proof will be product reviews. It'll be testimonials. It'll be a photo of someone using your product. It will be press badges. You then, before you jump into all of the nitty gritty with the features and benefits, you want to do a feature summary. So if someone, again, near the top just gets the gist of what they can get with your product. So you build the page from like most important information near the top, which is like, here's a summary of the product and why you need it. Here's our top benefits in a like super easy to read digestible form. And then you get into building the main benefit. So we had, for example,
This is a comparison.
Comparison chart. Yeah. And we do a call to action.
How important
Proof.
call to actions?
Pretty important. Like you just want to bring someone back up to the top of the page so that we remind them that, hey, we want you to buy this.
Is that chat with us? Is that a many chat flow?
Yes.
Beautiful.
Yeah. So what we found is, kudos to Indiegogo, by the way, but consumers want more and more touch points with a business before they feel safe purchasing from that company. So by having multiple touch points, like the ability to talk to your team, is super vital in order to close the sale.
Is this allowed on Kickstarter?
We haven't tried it on Kickstarter.
Interesting. Okay.
So I don't see why it would be against our terms and conditions as long as you're not trying to actively hijack the sale off Kickstarter.
Yeah.
But I would definitely check with their support before you do that on Kickstarter.
Okay. So whatever you put here, you can link it with a link, right?
Yeah, you need HTML code that is going to essentially bring it up, like back to the top of the page.
Okay.
So, yeah.
So then you have some more social proof and testimonials.
Yep, exactly. So one big roadblock that we constantly run into with Jamstack is it is a music product. So people, before they buy it, need to know that it sounds great. And especially if you can't walk into a store and demo it. So we had to recreate that experience to show how awesome it sounds. And we do that through things like playing it without edits, videos like this, etc.
Okay. Is
Very
it crucial
cool.
to show your face in the Kickstarter? Does that add some points?
It's not crucial, but it definitely helps when you are showing the founder and the team that you're supporting. And it builds legitimacy when, like, because then it's not going to be some random company overseas. You can actually see like the founder and the team that's put time into this.
Got
So
it.
it's a trust thing that I prefer that we put in.
Okay. Anything else we should talk about here?
Nope, just I would say build your page based on most important information. Do not have it be text heavy And also, I definitely recommend you open up the page to like 10 to 15 people in your audience to get real feedback before you go live.
Got it. Okay. So this is not text heavy. This is just enough.
Yep, you got it.
Okay, cool. Mina, any questions?
No, I love this because this is, if you look at it, it's like an enhanced brand content for Amazon that goes on and on and on. So I really like it. I like that there's a lot of gifts in there. The last question I have is, what are best practices with the rewards?
Yeah, so keep the rewards simple. You can build more rewards as you go through the campaign, but if you could start with 4 or 6 rewards, that is the max I would do. Right.
And what is that, like quantity discounts or add-on, add value?
Yeah. Like for neuro, for example, you can sell, like, it may not make sense based on shipping for you to only sell one, but yeah, let's look at Sego Mini here. So we did 1 pillow, 2 pillow. I think those are the 2 main packages. Yeah, 3 pillows we had, and then we built out more as we went to increase the average order value.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, we should probably look into our competitors and see what they've done.
Yeah, I definitely look at Pavlok and see what they did. But you want to keep it simple with, like, for you, if you're doing subscription for neuro, you could do 3 months supply, 6 months supply, 12 months supply.
Got it.
And people would be willing to back it for 12 months, even though they've never tried it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
You need to give that option, right?
Yeah. Also, it tastes amazing and it works very well. So
it's incredible.
Pro tip too, if you want to get into retailers, create a retail bundle where you're selling 10 or 20 of these for a large price, because retailers are always looking for cool new products that their customers want.
Okay. So we're out of time. If anyone has any questions, please let us know in the comments. We can also do a live in the Facebook group. So join the Brax Amazon FBA group or link below, and let me know if you want to see that. So we'll make it happen. Khierstyn, thank you so very much. Where can people find you and learn more from you?
Yeah, so I have a YouTube channel that is dedicated to Kickstarter and product launches. So if you want to go into the rabbit hole that is my channel, you just search for Khierstyn on YouTube. I think we'll link this in the description as well. But definitely go to YouTube, or you could check out my website if you're looking at speaking with me and the team about your product.
Okay, perfect. So subscribe to Khierstyn, subscribe to this channel, and hit the thumbs up if you liked it. Click here if you want to see another Kickstarter video, or click here if you want to see just another video. So click here or here, and I'll see you guys there. Peace.